Well, we told you yesterday that the Department of Justice is getting involved in the Freddie Gray case. So tonight we're going to go in depth about what is a civil rights investigation. Steve Silverman is a civil rights attorney, and he joins us more to talk about this. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hi, good evening.
So what is a civil rights investigation?
Basically, a civil rights investigation is technically an investigation into excessive force under color of law. And what that means is there's a federal statute that says police can't beat citizens, police can't kill citizens, and if the feds are concerned that the state has dropped the ball, or if Baltimore City can't investigate itself without bias, then the feds will come in and potentially prosecute this case. Now, normally it has to be an intentional crime for the feds to pick it up. And a lot of facts, of course, have not been released to the public, so we don't know exactly what happened here.
So now, the police commissioner says the city's doing its own investigation, and they're going to turn it over to the city state's attorney.
Right.
How will this investigation be different than what the city state's attorney is going to do?
Well, it'll be a little different because police cannot always be expected to police themselves. And sometimes when you have an more objective outside investigator, such as the FBI and Department of Justice, they don't know the officers personally, they don't have biases going into the investigation, and they'll probably be a little more objective.
Are these cases harder to prove?
They're not harder to prove, but it's very rare that they're brought, and it's only brought when the federal investigation shows that there's an intentional act of violence by a police officer on a citizen, and the city of Baltimore, for example, fails to do anything about it, fails to file for indictments, fails to take any punitive action on the police officers.
Now, I know they made some recommendations in the Ferguson case. Are there typically charges with these types of investigations in terms of the outcome?
If they find it's an intentional act, yes. If they find it's negligence, no. If they find it's somewhere in the middle, it's a tough call for the feds. For example, if they find that the police officers beat him inside that paddy wagon, then absolutely there's going to be charges. If they find that they took him on what's called the popcorn ride, which is unharnessed in the back of a paddy wagon with hard turns, so he bounces around while cuffed, and he got injured that way, that's going to be a little more discerning for the feds to bring that case.
You surprised that the Department of Justice got involved?
In light of what's going on around the country right now, I'm not surprised at all, and it's a priority for the Obama administration to make sure that justice in these situations is served in every jurisdiction around the country, so I'm not surprised.